all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio. And you're listening to Yes Massive Wagwan. Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother there. Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Jody, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, massive.
Bringing communities together around the world. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Yes, family, karibuni sana to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network radio station, media of the 21st century. Big up to everyone listening to me on YouTube, on Facebook, on our TikTok page. Shout out to you, Pepsino. Thank you so much for tapping the screen, and to everyone with us on our radio station application and also on the website on Rumble. We're live everywhere on all the platforms. Karibuni sana once again, and my name is Job in case you're here for the first time and you are tuned in onto the media of the 21st century. 2 minutes past 1 p.m. right here in the 254. And of course, to all our diaspora family, hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. I hope you are doing great as you get ready for work. For people like Kay Williams, probably is at work already. Shout out to you. Shout out to people like us, Unsunken One, Sister Angela, Sister Michelle, and to everyone, probably those who shall be catching this show on a replay. Big up to also Lino. Simo are in the building. Shout out to Pepsino also with us. Shout out to Max Sezi Dennis, shout out to you, all of you, and Karibuni Isana. Welcome to the Pan African Bliss. Today we shall be talking about Rwanda receiving dozens of refugees from Libya. This is crazy, and of course, when you try look at what has been happening for the past few weeks, we've been seeing countries like Egypt, Tunisia, Mauritania, Libya itself. They have signed very strict rules when it comes to our people actually, passing even through their country, going to seek for greener pastures, and we've seen the torture they go through. So this is so crazy and very alarming, where Africans should also check on who they are welcoming right here, because these people are not actually just coming to Rwanda. I believe once we shall be receiving also the UK asylum seekers, if they tend to agree, because remember they are being forced to receive money to come to literally Africa, that is to Rwanda, where Kagame received a lot of money. Literally, we're going to see them flocking the East Africa. That is my expectation. We're going to see them in Kenya. We're going to see them in Uganda. We're going to see them in Burundi. We're going to see them in Tanzania, because these people feel very privileged no matter where they go. That is just the Mzungu character. I don't care whether you're talking about the Chinese, the Indians, the white, the Europeans, all of them fall under the same category as for me, and they carry the same behaviors no matter where they go. And that is what we shall be talking about, because I have my own points of view to give about this, especially when it comes to our own people, the treatment they get outside the continent of Africa, and what the treatment these people they get when they come to the African continent. How do we treat them? Along that, we shall also be talking about what is happening in Tanzania, where you can see the vice president is actually threatening to resign from his seat, and this is because the shortage of water. Last month, we also had another official who did actually resign from his seat, and that was actually because of shortage of alcohol, which I didn't actually bother. But there's something happening in Tanzania that these officials are literally not talking about, or something, when it comes to the current government, there's something not being done correctly. She'll also be talking about Museveni's son, who has been actually officially been named as the army chief commander, and that is Yoweri Museveni's son, and this is for him. They're claiming that this is him being tutored. Let's use the tutor name. He's being trained to become the next president of Uganda, which is a lie. This shall never happen. If this was to happen, it should have happened long time ago, but it will never ever happen. We shall also be talking about what is happening in Haiti, where we can see the curfew is still being extended because of the crisis going on in Haiti. Yesterday I shared very amazing positive reviews coming from our Kenyan people who actually understand what is happening, who are actually very against the deployment of our troops. We saw a couple of weeks ago also some of the troops who were supposed to be taken to Haiti, the mission, they did withdraw from that mission. And undisclosed number of people did actually withdraw from that mission. So that is what we shall be talking about, and also the Senegal elections. I shall be coming back with that after this short musical break. That is our first news and update. Shout out to Since Music in the building. Nakucheki sana unasema the UK has also been deporting people to Rwanda. They were supposed to actually, because Rwanda received a lot of money. And Kagame said that if this doesn't happen, he shall fund back the money that he was given, which is actually a lie, because none of these presidents unaweza pesa na urudishe. Unaweza pewa pesa na urudishe. So it is a lie. The problem is that the UK asylum seekers themselves don't want to come to Africa. They don't want to come to Rwanda. So they are being actually paid right now. They're being offered some amount of money, some dollars, so that they can move to Africa or to Rwanda by force. It is crazy, and that is what we shall be talking about. Shout out to Africa Tour by African. Karibu sana. You're asking how can I join the conversation? Of course, through the link, the same way. If you still have the StreamYard, if you still have your StreamYard account, let me share the link, then you shall be able to join once I start the conversation. But back to the music just one more time, and I'll be coming back with the quote of the day, and of course as we get started with what is happening in today's political conversation. This is Satriel. This is my boyfriend from South Africa. He just barely doesn't know. Featuring Melo. The name of the jam is Your Body. Featuring DJ Maforisa as well. Shout out to Ansankin, I know he's a fan of this song. Wherever he is.
Something that I never seen, something I wanna be in.
Yes, and my quote of the day says the only time you should ever look back is to see how far you have come. The only time. And there's something I was sharing yesterday on the culture show that Ronald did speak about. Stop looking for you in other people. Start looking at yourself inside you. Work out, drink water, eat healthy, do amazing things that you literally look at yourself and you're like, hey, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of who I am becoming. Stop looking for you in other people. Work on yourself. Yes, but shout out to Adara Kevin, shout out to DJ Hi Paul, Karibuni sana to everyone with us. Shout out to Since Music, who's also with us on TikTok, and to everyone listening to me on the radio station, on the YouTube page, and also on Facebook, on Rumble, on the show page. Karibuni sana. And in case you're wondering how you can join us officially for hizo channels zote, all those platforms I'm mentioning, karibu sana. First, this is the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. If this is your first time right here. And my name is Joby, and this is the Pan-African Bliss Show. And you can join us officially by downloading our app, which you can find on the Google Play Store. So just go to the Google Play Store. To all the Android users, you can be able to find our application on the Google Play Store. Search for the Black Hot Fire Network and you'll find us there, which gives you actually the opportunity to stream as you use the rest of your platforms. You can chat with your family and friends on WhatsApp. You can use Instagram. You can be sending emails to your clients and your friends and family, and you still be able get the chance to stream live with the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. We also do have the apparel store, which I want to show to those who are actually with us right here on the YouTube page. In case you've been looking for a way how you can get some merchandise delivered to you and so many other things that we have featured right here. We have our apparel store, and we also have our Black Hot Fire Network store, which actually you have under the category. You can see so many things. And personally, I said if there's anyone who's going to be gifting me what is under the gift and crafts, I'm going to be so happy. But yes, you can find that is under the under the Black Hot Fire Network application on the shop page under the Black Hot Fire Network store or the apparel store. You can find the merchandise, you can find some sportswear, you can find great gift and crafts, you can find some time pieces and jewelries, luggages and bags, and let me tell you, they're very, very affordable and they will be delivered to your doorstep. But anyway, Karibuni, so now soon we shall be having some skincare products coming also very soon, and we'd love to know which one works for you. And also see DJ Hi Paul says, can I request? No, apparently this is not a musical show. You just missed a 4-hour musical show with Shumani. That is the Vibe Show every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 midday. You'll be able to catch and request any jams you want. And also every Tuesday and Thursday, myself and Kamlesh, we're here for the Culture Show. 2 hours of musical sessions and amazing conversations, I promise you. And I also see DJ Paul says, being a Friday, I would like to start my weekend. I think that's what you said, with a song by Papa Nyotso. I wish I could play that, my friend, but I can't, manze. I only have like few minutes right here, and the way time is written, it's running. Ainipati hiyo muda wa kucheza ngoma. I wish I could, manze. But shout out to Sheila Chepko H in the building. Shout out to everyone with me on TikTok, and also those who are joining via YouTube and also maybe the network. Karibuni sana once again and enjoy the show. I want to start with what is happening in Senegal, of course. Do remember this coming Sunday we have elections that are supposed to be held, and people are supposed to take it to the poll that is in Senegal, where we shall Senegal, actually we can see that we have 7 million Senegalese who have already registered to vote. This is actually a very good number that has stand out. Unlike most of the African countries that have had elections this year and last year, the turnout was really, really pathetic. Like, countries like Nigeria, that was last year, countries like Congo, we had so many voters, but at the same time, we know that elections in Africa, it's elections and all that. But we can see a total number of 7 million Senegalese who have registered, and I'm certain majority of these people, of course, is the young people, and I'm certain the vote shall be going, or is supposed to go to Osman Sonko, who we can see the youth really want him to become a president, and is declaring and aiming for a change to the people of and promising a change also to the people of Senegal. But I want to play what is happening. And of course, along that, we shall also be checking where we also actually have the first woman who's running for presidency, that is in Senegal, which is actually very inspiring and very impressive. In so many African countries, we barely see women vying for this presidential seat. It was just the other day, I think I was complaining about a certain country. I think it is still Senegal, if I'm not wrong, which we saw that they had 19 candidates of president, or people are supposed to be vying for presidency. I think it's still the same country, if I'm not wrong, but I'll be reading the article because I'm certain we are updated right here. We saw that we have 19 candidates, and personally, I say that I believe we should be having a maximum number of the candidates who stand for these presidential seats, or the presidential candidacy, if there's such a term. And for me, I say the maximum of number should be just 3 people. We should just be having 3 competitors when it comes to this presidential seat. It doesn't make any sense when we have 19 people always seeking for one seat, while at the end of the day, it's just one person who's needed for that seat. So I don't understand what is it with the competition, or with the large number of competition or competitors or candidates when it comes to the Africans election. But what is happening, we can see 7 million. Let me share this as we get to continue, and as we check onto the first woman who's supposed to run for presidency and how this is inspiring Senegal. And then along that, I want to share a video which actually gives us a number of how many women we have in Africa who present our parliaments, or the women who actually in most of the parliamentary seats. And I was actually impressed to see the quite of the percentage we also have in Senegal itself. And I didn't see of Kenya. It was not among the top 10 mentioned countries, because I've not seen women, or rather we see women right here in Kenya battle a lot when it comes to all these political seats. It's very, very tough. It's very hectic, and it's very hard. But let me share this.
After delay and uncertainty, Senegal is set for presidential poll this Sunday. In the alleyways of Dakar's Fabric Market Wednesday, supporters of Ousmane Sonko's protege, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and Senegal's only female presidential candidate, Anta Babacar, were confident.
We trust Diomaye. He will help us so that young people stop taking to the sea to live abroad. What they're looking for there, we have here.
Exactly. And that is among our conversation, because that is the same thing we're not being told. We're running away from the continent of Africa because people are going to seek for greener pastures. But it is such a shame to see where we're running from. People are really very angry and I'm not saying angry of, hungry. Like, people are so thirsty for this continent, because it is full of resources. And I'll be sharing a video actually coming from Kagame. Shout out to Kagame, because I don't understand this man at all. He's always talking like this. The next minute is like this. And it is the political game for me, in the schemes of where they play innocent, knowing what they are doing. It is just the games for me. Kagame comes out, and this is not the first time I've seen a speech of him talking like this. How Africa is full of resources, Africa is this and this. Oh, yeah, we know that. But in true part and parcel of the people are actually destabilizing Africa. Let's start by Congo. A question posed one time: how is it that your country is the most developed when it comes to Africa, leave alone South Africa, but the rest ain't? What is it that you are doing that the rest of the African presidents ain't doing, Kagame? That is a question. But whatever this young man is saying is true. Whatever we're seeking outside as African people, and which is why we have these elections every time, because the youth, majority have hopes once we select, or if we turn up to the poll stations and go vote for a president who we don't know if they're being selected, because we don't understand politics for most of the people in Africa. We don't know that these people are being selected. And then I understood why they have the media always, giving us the numbers of how many people have turned on the poll stations and all that, all just for a scheme and a game, knowing at the end of the game who is the president. But this young man is saying that, he's hoping for a change, and he hopes that this is going to make young youths and most of the people to stop going outside seeking for greener pastures, because everything we need outside is right here.
Senegal is rich, but we don't have good leaders.
So is the rest of Africa. All of the continent is rich, because we have Africans from all African countries running away to seek for greener pastures. And this is because we have failed leadership, which is selected not by us, but by the people who control the world. And this is why Africa runs the way it runs. We are stuck under debt that is under the IMF and the World Bank, the central banks, which we don't even control. We're using fake money while people take real resources worth billions out of us, watching as we struggle.
Leadership.
What a man can do, a woman can do. Men put on their pants, we put on our skirts. We women must organize. We can get all the women together. Everything men can take on, women can take on too. Anta is capable. 19 candidates seek to succeed to Macky
Yeah, so I was correct. It is Senegal that has 19 candidates, so we can see that.
Sall. The ruling party nominated Sall's former Prime Minister, Amadou Ba. This political analyst with the Dakar-based think tank says the youth vote will be decisive.
Senegal is a country which is mostly made up of young people. 75% of the population is less than 35 years old. So issues of the economy,
75%. That is a huge number. And that is why they are so scared and they were so threatened. Let me share the link with you. That is Africa. That is Smart J. Let me share the link with you in case you want to give some points. There it is. And you can join the panel. But yes, 75% is a very huge number of young people, and that most of the African countries, we make that population. Most of our percentage, if you look at Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria actually being the most populated country in Africa, it carries a very huge percentage of young people. But ask yourself, why is it that we have old people always, the ones who are being elected, what they claim for this presidential seat? Why not the young people? And why is it that right now we have countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, which has attained young people or has been able to actually have young people now leading the country, and things are working and turning? So meaning that for so long, this is something that they know, and they're so scared, because do remember we had an attempted secretive coup that was in Senegal, and that's why elections were pushed for them to come and change all these dates and all that. It is because there was a secretive attempted coup. And that is when Usman Sonko was also arrested. So it is crazy outside here, and people know, the youth understand and know what is happening, and the youth are ready to fight and conquer their continent.
employment, and the creation of industry are central to this presidential election.
Some 7.3 million Senegalese are registered to vote. This year's election is touted as the most unpredictable, and observers expect a runoff between leading candidates.
Yes, and that is what is happening in Senegal right now. And on this other hand, we can see that the only female who's running for this presidential seat is actually very inspiring. It is inspiring people right now. And, I don't know if people are backing up, but I'm certain that majority of the people are literally going to be voting for Osman Sonko. That is
A woman attempting to make history. Senegal's only female candidate in the country's upcoming presidential elections has pledged to improve working conditions and training for young people with a focus on women. Anta Babaka.
I mean, look at this. You can just see this. And this is what Africa politics for so long has been always about. If you look at most of these political rallies, something that Magufuli had banned, something that Magufuli was so against. If you look at most of these political rallies, these politicians only go to the poor people, bribe them, not even bribe them, give them money to earn their trust in the name of, I can give more than just what I'm giving you right now. Just come and vote for me. Because that is what it is. I can give you more than what you have, what I'm giving you right now. Just take this, have trust in me, turn up on the poll stations and come vote for me. And because we are desperate for change, we're yearning for a change for ourselves, for our children, for the generation to come, we're gonna turn up on the poll stations. And they came up with this lie telling you that your vote makes a change. It doesn't. It doesn't make a change. These people, before even the moment the dates have been selected or picked for an election, they know who is going to be selected. So this is all a scheme. And this is what I'm saying. Look at all this. Just look at this condition of where these cars are passing is where people are literally in poverty. Majority. Most of them in poverty. Suffering.
Ngom launched her campaign for the presidency in the suburban Dakar district of Bikini, where she was born.
Women in power will not forget to actually help those women. And once you solve the youth's problem, such as having access to jobs, as I always say, 50% of women's problems will be solved.
Now the head of the largest
Well, I want to kind of oppose that. These women in power, I mean, how many of them have we seen? And I want to give a very perfect example with the recent scenario that happened in Kenya. At the beginning of this year, 2024, we've had so many cases of femicide, women being killed. But personally, I say that this is all gender-based violence where we've seen men, women, children all being killed. It was not all a matter of femicide or all that. But the most cases at the beginning of the year were women. When you talk about women never forgetting other women when they are in power, we saw our women representative who came out days after, weeks after the cases have risen and people decided to take it to the street on themselves to demonstrate on what is happening to women. That is the only time we saw Esther Passaris coming out as, oh, I'm a woman representative and I've been here. Where have you been? That was the question people posed. Where have you been? You've been here, where? So I want to kind of disagree. And I've seen this even with the coming young politician, women. They come and say, oh, I'm going to change this. I understand what the youth are going through. But once you get there, we have the OGs, baby. Who are going to tell you this is how things work. This is how the system is. And you're going to have to abide to it. And I believe we had the youngest, Sijui Niwawapi, Sijui, she was a Kalenjin, right here in the 254. The youngest, I don't know in which county, came in very skinny. Right now, she's looking like a balloon. Why are we getting thick? Baby girl, why are you getting thick? People right here are people are skinny here. Why are you eating so good while you've not literally fulfilled people's needs? Why are you being comfortable while you've not fulfilled your manifestos that you promised to the people of your county and the nation itself? So I kind of disagree, and I want to support women being in politics, and which has become very, very hard. But at the same time, are you willing to fulfill, even if we support you, what people are literally seeking for? Are you willing to do that? That is my question. But shout out to Smart J in the building. Karibu sana, brother. Hope you're doing great today.
I'm doing very great.
Nice to see you and nice to hear from you. Shout out to Jibajaba, says good day to you, Joby, and a good day to the Black Fire Network family. Yes, good day to you too, and nice to see you right here, and hope you're doing great. Shout out to Mr. Black Fire who's also with us. Shout out to Dante's in the building. Kid says no, Joby, not the balloon belly again. I mean, this Chile came in very skinny. I don't know if you know us, Matt J. The youngest, I don't know which county. She's a politician.
Toto.
Yeah, she alikuwa mdogo when she got into politics. Now she's very huge. I'm like, baby girl, when you came into power, you promised this and this and this. But now, why are you being comfortable? Yo, why we can't see the bones anymore? You should be sweating. We should be the ones getting thick a little bit because you're fulfilling what you promised. So
I think this society is the one man eat society. That one, because I think everybody is here to benefit on itself and create wealth. So Toto is a very good friend of the deputy president, So yeye anapatiwa ile hajawahi akuwa maipanda ndege, so akapatiwa hiyo opportunity na pia pesa kidogo, so maybe he has forgotten what the voters walimweka hapo, so
That,
that is
that is what they do, all of them. That is what they do. That is, I mean, that is what they do. And that is why I'm saying this woman in Senegal, I'm glad to see, because I don't know if for you've seen, and you can actually testify probably with Kenya and most of the African countries. I'll say perfectly, and a good example is Kenya, because I'm here, we're on the ground and we see it every day. We are updated about what is happening. We've seen like the Meru governor, Kawera, how she's always been battled by men in parliament to withdraw from her seat so that the next governor can be a man. And that is not the only occasion we've seen, actually, because let me share this, let me pull this down. I was checking this video right here, which was giving me the analysis of how many women we have presenting us in Africa, that is in the parliament of Africa, most of the countries in Africa. And if you try to look at the numbers, I was quite shocked, being honest, I'm not gonna lie, but Kenya is not among the countries mentioned. And I'm not surprised, because if you look at the number of the women in our parliament, they're very few. And if they try to talk, they're always men are always there to actually fight them. And so is most of the African countries where women are not considered to be. They're not supposed to lead. You're not supposed to become, a leader. You're supposed to be just a servant at home, be a wife, be a stay-at-home wife, or be a mom or something. That is basically what it is. But let me share this very quickly.
What African country has the highest percentage of parliamentary seats held by women? And number 10 is Cameroon with 33.89%. And number 9 is Tanzania with 37.4%. And number 8 is Burundi with 38.2%.
Burundi, I was quite shocked to see that Burundi has that quite huge of a number. And politically, Burundi is, I think, least discussed country. Right now is the only time we can see it popping, especially because of the crisis going on the border between DRC, Rwanda, Uganda, and all that.
1%. And number 7 is Ethiopia with 41.31%. And number 6 is Cape Verde with 41.67%. And in the top 5, and number 5 is Mozambique with 43.2%. And number 4 is Namibia with 44.23%. And number 3 is South Africa with 45.61%. And number 2,
South Africa, you can tell when we have a lady like the one who's she's been representing the case of South Africa.
2 is Senegal with 46.06%, and at number 1 is Rwanda with 61.25%. Let us know which country surprised you. What Africa?
And all of them surprised me. that is what I'm gonna say. All of them did surprise me, and it is crazy. All of them did surprise me. I didn't expect that percentage of women to be in the parliament, of such countries, because majority we've seen women being on these political seats. But I don't know, what are your thoughts, Smart J, regarding this woman who's vying for a presidential seat? Do you feel like we should be having much more of women popping up like this, and should also, understanding that Africa is a male-dominated, especially politically, even in some of the cultures and most of the things, we are a male-dominated society and community. Do you feel like women should also come out more confidently, vie for such presidential seat? And what do you think if we had a woman as a president in maybe the whole continent or maybe one Africa country? Do you think there'll be a change, unlike the people we have? Or do you think it's going to be the same thing because the system is run the same way?
I think it will be the same way, because I think many people in Africa think that man should lead, and they believe that a man should be ahead of a family, and also to become leaders. So if we get women who are leading in Africa, it will not make much difference, because the same people who control the system are the same people. And
True.
also there was a stereotype which I had that if we had a female president, the most thing which I had like 5 years ago, maybe I heard some people saying that what will happen if she gets pregnant, what that story. I think that is going backward, and we should think Like how will be our country be if our president is pregnant? You saw that it's like there is a picture which
Mm-hmm.
president should portray. Do you
Mm-hmm.
believe?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you in
yeah,
a position?
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
many men many many men will tend
Mm,
to, if let's say my wife is a governor, she's a governor, and
yeah.
maybe I am in my house and I need her to cook for me. So I will
Mm-hmm.
be ashamed to tell a governor of a place, go and cook for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like stories like that one. So many
Mm,
people will try to stereotype the husband of the most powerful person who she lives together. So
mm-hmm.
many men will tend not to associate with her, more so but not because that she is good in leadership, but
Mm-hmm.
because of other things which are not even making sense. So on my side, I think if we get a female president, things will be the same, and
Mm-hmm.
many men will feel that they are being maybe they if a case like that one, like that case of Joe Irungu, a
Mm-hmm.
woman was the one who was presiding it, and maybe Joe Irungu, other people say that Joe Irungu got a severe punishment, but
Mm-hmm.
because she was a woman who was delivering it, it made the topic to go so long because people were seeing as if it is a punishment. So the same way that that judge was a woman, I think other people will see that many judgments, if we get a president who is a woman, many judgments will try to favor women and undermine men. As much as our society, we try to push girl child in education, we try to push them to get leadership and other
Mm-hmm.
things so that we can be equal. So that we can
Mm-hmm.
be equal. Because on my side, I think in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
women are being undermined
Yeah.
and are not given the opportunity that as the United
True.
States. As you can see,
True.
because we are in Kenya, and because many jobs are meant for men, many appointments are meant for men,
But
but
I
women
feel like.
are not.
Mm-hmm. I feel like for women, it's because most of them don't want to become bootlickers. Because understand, apart from you just being a woman, and with the question that you're asking, because we have the right age of, there's a certain age of you vying for a presidential seat, that you're supposed to be to attain. But at the same time, that I believe should change, because I don't believe leadership is all about age. Leadership is all about your mindset, your skills of how you're gonna lead the people. What is it that you have? When it comes to your manifestos, are you willing to do this and this? Are you willing to put it into action, or are you just talking? But I feel like for women, if we question about things like pregnancy and talking about a certain age of acquiring or sitting for this presidential seat, then I feel like you as a woman, if you want to vie for this seat, you should have already have given birth, like the amount of children you want to have, let's say two, because even most of them don't even have kids. Look at Ruto, ako not strong happy, 2 kids. Uhuru the same, 2 kids. Kenyatta, Uhuru, I don't know, Jomo Kenyatta had how many kids, I'm not sure, but majority of them don't even have so many kids. But I believe it is possible if only we had a true Africa that is working, and it could be possible having a woman who's a leader. But if the system is the same system we're talking about, where we can see even the women in power are smuggling gold, taking them to Dubai and other countries, then I agree with you. It's gonna be the same thing, where we have failed leadership. And if you actually try to compare with America and even most in Africa, if you try to look at the women in the seat or the political seats, most of them are coons. They don't speak the truth. I mean, unaweza niambia nini kuhusu kama mtu anaitwaje huyu, this Samido lady anaitangwa aje, Karen Nyamu. I mean, look at Karen Nyamu. Why did people nominate that lady to become a parliamentarian? Why did she get that seat? What does she do that is important, that apart from us, we just see her on blogs? You're a politician, but you're so busy being seen on blog sites, more than what you're doing as a politician. You're being seen on entertainment sites more than what you're doing on the ground and what you're supposed to be doing. So those kind of things. You find the majority of these people will have to become bootlickers to fit in that position. Go on, Smart.
I think many on my I think many women who are being appointed on politics are appointed because of mediocre reasons like beauty, maybe good
Yeah.
shape. So they tend to spoil for good women who have mindset and the right of the people, because
True.
many of them, as I cannot know, many of them are girlfriend of these other politicians, so they are being appointed on other reasons, not to serve them, but to reward them for the things they got.
Yeah.
So like a person like Millicent Nomanga, what can he offer at the table?
I mean,
No,
Millicent Omanga we already seen Millicent Omanga on porn sites. So, I mean, what else? What else? You remember that video that of us that went viral?
yeah,
These are
yes,
politicians we're talking about, you know? Come on. Come on.
but but I know there are good women who are good politicians out here,
True. True.
who
And
they know. Because on my side, I by this time I think one African state could be even distributing pads for women, as there are
true.
things for which they are fighting. Because I cannot get a reason why condoms can be free and
And
pads
pads and
cannot
all.
be free and
Exactly.
not be free, because we don't have leaders who are pushing. Those people who are pushing are these NGOs who come here,
Exactly.
give like three girls, take pictures of them, uh,
Mm-hmm.
humiliate them on internet, get good amount
Mm-hmm.
of money, but they cannot
Mm-hmm.
get a good innovator to come with
Mm-hmm.
parts here in Kenya, and they also
Exactly.
develop a factory and
Mm-hmm.
make it subsidized, not for profit. We are not in a capitalist state on the things that are affecting our health and even our children. So
Mm-hmm.
I think some products which can be subsidized, not made for profit, because things like that cannot everybody cannot be producing so that they can make profit. There is some things that we have to draw line where we can say these things we don't need much profit, we don't need much taxations, because
Exactly.
nobody chooses it. Nobody chooses it. So I think those are the things which women should be fighting for.
Man,
Not
I think they did start taxing sanitary towels, if I'm not wrong. I think Kenya did start, I think 2 weeks ago, they started taxing sanitary towels, because I remember Kamlesh was the one reading that some time back. But I think it is even happening right now. But I do support you. I mean, why should we have women who are representatives like just Esther Passaris? Go back to Esther Passaris, you know, who came out after people took it to their hands, to their matters, to go demonstrate about the cases of femicide rising, you know, until people speak out or call your name out, or, you know, take actions into their hands. And that's when you're gonna show, oh, I've been here. What have you been doing? The last time I saw Esther Passaris trending was because her hair was literally cutting itself off, or something was happening. Like, we've not seen you've done this for children or for young ladies who need sanitary towels, like you just said. Sanitary towels should be free. They should be free. It is just the other week I was reading here, right here, they're calling it, they call it what? Period poverty. Period poverty, where people have to literally struggle or use the reusable sanitary towels, which are not literally healthy, for them to keep up with their monthly periods. It is crazy, and it is super, super sad. But before we get to move on to the next conversation, a quick shout out to everyone with us on TikTok. I appreciate everyone who's right here. Shout out to John Mosquito, shout out to Mr. Blackfire. Jibba Jabba says, in the US they put Kun, they put Kun BW in office, black women. Oh, they put the Kun black women in office to do the bidding of Mzungus, and they claim racism when the people wake up. Come on, be better, you know, be better. And also, I also see you saying she gets the top shelf ugali. That's why. I mean, if you see that lady right now, she came in very skinny. Right now, she's all ballooned. I mean, like, What's up? What your people are stranded. What is happening? But just saying that the foreign minister of South Africa seems to be a stand-up of a woman. Yep, she is. She is a very, very stand-up of a woman, and she's very, very straight with her words. And I also see you saying only if they are a fighter on insightful spirits like you. I agree with you. And also see Jibajaba says, what if she's a lousy cook? You're gonna wait around for that slop. I know. And I also see you saying that in America, to be a black politician, you have to be a bootlick true. And if not, you will be plugged with scandal and will be ineffective for the people. I agree with you, and I've seen that a couple of times, even right here in Africa. And they also adding that most have corporate ties, and that's their push into the office. And just saying that color makes good point. That is a Miss Smart J over here, and he's been with us and part of us for the past 1 week, I think, right now. And he's been giving good points. But moving to the next conversation. But before I get to share that, before I get to move to the next conversation, which is about what is happening in where should I go? To Tanzania. I want to share this small video right here of what has been happening as we wait for elections this coming Sunday in South Africa. Let me share this.
Senegal's elections, featuring 19 candidates, are set for Sunday, the 24th of March. Let's go over who the candidates are and break down what's at stake. First, 49-year-old Ousmane Sonko, beloved by Senegal's mass youth movement, was recently declared ineligible to contest the elections. That's due to a suspended sentence linked to a defamation case. But on 14 March, he was granted a pardon and released from prison. He and his political coalition, Senegal for Work, Ethics and Brotherhood, or PASTEF, are backing opposition candidate 44-year-old Bassirou Diomaye Faye. The candidate aims to end corruption, move Senegal out of France's camp, and develop a sovereign currency instead of the French-controlled West African CFA franc. On the other side, we have incumbent President Macky Sall's preferred candidate, Amadou Ba. The Senegalese opposition has criticized the 62-year-old as pro-French. His trip to Paris in December was controversial, as some claimed it was opening the door.
Of course, it should be questioned, because why? You're vying for a presidential seat and you're already going for these foreign trips. How many will you go for? Like what you were checking yesterday with the Kenyan president and the Nigerian president. How many are you willing to go for once you be selected? How much are you willing to spend within months? Like Tinubu, 3.4 billion within 6 months. How much are you willing to spend? So yeah, it's a red flag. It is a red flag, and I'm glad Senegalese have seen this. It is a red flag.
Or to French interference in the elections. All in all, 19 candidates are running, one will win. Let us know who you think will become Senegal's next president.
We don't know, and we are waiting to see who's going to become the next president of Senegal. Personally, I'm very excited about the elections. I'm also excited about South Africa's elections. I can't wait to see who's going to become the next Kun. Shout out to the cupcake. That is a real Ramaphosa. I can't wait to see literally who's going to become the next cupcake of South Africa, who's going to become the next puppet of Senegal as well. So I'm here to literally check, and of course I'll be here to update you guys on what is happening. So the next conversation is about Tanzania, where we can see that the vice president has threatened to resign from his seat. This is because of shortage of water in Tanzania, the country itself. They're saying that Tanzania Vice President Philip Mpango has threatened to resign over a prolonged water shortage affecting residents from the northern Mwanga district. And Mr. Mpango on Thursday accused contractors working on a major project aimed at supplying water in the region of taking too long time to complete it. And the project, worth over $100,000, that is 79,000 euros, was started close to 20 years ago, according to Mr. Mpango, and be providing water to locals by June. I will step down, and I don't know what will be the fate of the local administration and its juniors if I resign. I cannot come here again and tell citizens to this water. Water is life. And according to the government officials accompanying Mr. Mpango to Mwanga on Thursday, the project is nearly 90% complete. I'm not sure if it's a project I saw, because there's something we saw in Tanzania, and personally I was very curious and I asked what is going on there on top of that mountain, because it's like a big company. You can't literally, it's a big crazy looking company. I don't know, but there's also another one that I'm scared when the bus passes through, so I'm not sure which one it is among the two. I can't say which one it is among the two. Shout out to you, Ghost Nakucheki Umerudi. Wagwan, hope you're doing great. Hope umekuwa na usiku fiti. Nice to see you, Wanze. But yeah, I'm not sure between the two which ones I saw in Tanzania, which one it is, but this is crazy to see that we've had, and I'm certain probably this is something that was started 20 years ago. We're talking about when Magufuli was there, the late president who died, that was the last month, if I'm not wrong, or the beginning of this month. And I'm not sure, maybe during Julius Nyerere time, I'm not sure how long ago this started, 20 years ago, you know. So it could be the president who died, or maybe Julius Magufuli. And if it is Magufuli who started this, then it is up to Samia Suluhu, or whichever president. It is up to the next president who's in power for them to fulfill the project that has been left unfinished and let people gain the services of the country. Because why should people demand and wait for water? We never used to hear about these problems when Magufuli was there. That was just the truth. I'm certain Magufuli had a backup plan to supply water to the people, or to ensure that the residents in this particular place, that is the northern Mwanga district, people are getting water. But since Samia came into power, we've been having so many negative reports coming from Tanzania. There's poaching going on there of wild animals like crocodiles, lions. We can see the political rallies have become very active, something that Magufuli had banned for many reasons that I reported last week. We also saw he did actually also reopen most of the media houses that were closed by Magufuli because of reporting false information, especially during the COVID-19. And speaking of COVID-19, we have a new wave in Kenya. Story for another day. So be careful outside there. If you're gonna be one among the people being told you have it, and then they can encourage you to take the VACCINE, please don't. Be careful. If you didn't learn from the first wave, I hope you learned on this one. Or I hope you learn on this one. A story for another day. But we've seen a lot of negative stories coming from Tanzania ever since the appointment of Samia Suluhu. And I believe it should get to that time where actually also Tanzania goes to an election, or, you know, where they have to seek another president and let the people decide, because this was something that happened. Then the people who control the world, of course, got the freedom of getting into Tanzania the way they wanted, because Magufuli was very strict. He didn't accept the VACCINE in his country. There was no lockdown. He refused to literally do a lot of things, like even taking loans from the IMF and the World Bank. And he said only drunk leaders get to sign these deals with the IMF and the World Bank. And if you try look at most of the leaders signing this, they're truly drunk. I mean, I didn't say no name. I just say that they're truly drunk. But it is crazy. And I don't know what are your thoughts regarding this smart, a project that was started 20 years ago, worth $100,000. People were right now supposed to be getting water. The project should be, it's only 90% done. So very soon, but it has taken so much time, to the point where we can see the vice president resigning. Then it means the current government, there's something they're not doing, and that is Samia Suluhu. She is the president, and we've seen how these presidents of Africa are showing us the nerve of dictatorship and how they can literally make decisions, no matter what the citizens say. What are your thoughts regarding that, Smart J? I think we lost him. I'm not sure if he's here with us, but I see Jiba Jaba says that 20 years a dig of water system. I know. And then we'll have Mr. Who? I don't know. I keep on Mr. Beast. We'll have Mr. Beast coming here, you know, showing us, I've used only $100 million, just only $100 or 100,000 Kenyan shillings. And then I went and just took tractors and came and built, you know. dug some, just dug the ground, and then water like magic was coming out. It's crazy how white people want to take us for a fool also. You want to tell me Africans were so incapable? We have to wait for Mr. Beast. Shout out to Ruto. We have to wait for Mr. Beast to come and dig us wells.
Let me add there.
Yeah.
I think water is a serious issue in Africa because everywhere you use water in cooking, cleaning,
Yeah.
and doing almost everything. So if any government can buy maybe drilling machines because they have money,
Yeah.
and do like dig like every well in every village, and maybe teach people about farming, how to produce their food, everybody will be self-sufficient in their food and even water. So politicians don't want to do so because they want its citizens to depend on them, so that
Yeah.
every time they will be releasing some subsidies in like, let's say, fertilizer, but they will not give people money to buy that fertilizer. There is no reason
True.
of introducing subsidies in fertilizer and you don't have money, so you are subsidizing.
Did you see people buying sand as fertilizer? Did you see that documentary?
Yeah, I saw
Oh my
African
god.
because
My
because
god.
because they know that Africa don't have any equipment to test the quality of fertilizer,
Yeah.
and they depend on God to provide them with a good harvest. So if we don't get a good harvest, means that maybe we did not pray well for a good harvest, or maybe
I,
our our thinking is maybe we didn't have a rainfall, but we don't have labs to test our fertilizer to see if we are being sold the good fertilizer or a bad one.
or
And
not. True.
people we don't have a good platform where we can get experts to test our fertilizer, and also to teach people difference between a fake one and
And
a
the real
quality one,
one.
a
But
real
I
one.
mean, Smart J, for you, don't you know organic fertilizer? Just a question to do you know the difference between an organic fertilizer and an organic
I,
and
I,
an inorganic?
I know the
You know?
difference.
Mm-hmm.
I know the difference, but we have a very serious issue here because one, our soil has been corrupted with this fertilizer which we are buying. So
Yep.
if we go for an organic fertilizer, it will not
Uh-huh.
produce a quality one, because it's like ule mtu ametegemea kukula pilau, you cannot give him a
Mm,
githeri food.
true.
You will
Yeah.
have to teach him, this is how we eat, this is how, until the soil is a good one, because
Mm-hmm.
they have created a system where we will depend on them, where we buy seeds from them, we buy
Mm-hmm.
fertilizer, we buy
GMO.
chemicals
Mm-hmm.
with GMO. So if you
Mm-hmm.
calculate all the inputs where you are using at the farm, it will not be viable. It will not be viable because you will go negative. By the time you
True.
sell the crop, by the time you are selling the crop, the prices are down. So it means that you are doing like ile kazi ya kanisa, no pay,
I
no
agree
pay.
with you. Uh-huh. It
So
is crazy, huh?
So if we don't solve any water issue here in Africa, we will be
Mm-hmm.
having a very serious issues now and in future, because our population is growing on seriously. Our
True.
population is growing seriously, and every day we are getting more things to use. Because let's say in the past we didn't use water in our toilet because we didn't have toilets where we can flush. But at this
Yeah.
stage, every person has a toilet where he or she flush. So we cannot depend on this water which is from the municipal or the government, if we don't dig our own water at our home, because our supply, because water is a serious thing. People can fight for water. You cannot
Yeah.
joke about water. So
Uh-huh.
I think we cannot depend on these people who come with their cameras and dig 2 or 3 boreholes, and show the world that we don't have water, as if he
True.
or she has solved our problem.
Me-
Mr. Beast
uh-huh.
Mr. Beast
Mr.
made almost 100 million from that video alone,
A
because
lot of money. A lot.
because a lot of people saw the video, and
Mm-hmm.
these people who come with their cameras, we come with their cameras and display a wrong image about Kenya or Africa. But I love about them because they are showing the world that the leaders who their leaders are choosing them for us are not working. Because they are leaders.
Well, it is good. It is good when it comes to us as Africans, I believe, especially to the whole continent of Africa. If I'm in Nigeria and I see this happening, because he went to, I think, 6 African countries, if I'm not wrong. He went to Kenya, Zimbabwe, Uganda. I'm not sure. I think Burundi. I'm not sure about the the rest of the countries, but it is good for us if we're able to copy and paste and understand that this is something happening to us as a continent wholly, where in Nigeria, I have water issues. In Kenya, someone has problems with water and it's because of the government. In Zimbabwe, someone has problems with water, or a certain community has problems with water, and that's because of the government. From there, that is when we need to change our mindset and seek revolution. That is where we change our mindset about politics and how we view politicians. Because as much as you're saying that it was good showing our politicians are not working, understand that is favoring their narrative, especially the white people, because that is the image they want to display of us as a continent where porn poverty is what they sell, literally. If you try look at, I was given an example the other day. I was searching for the best waterfalls in Africa on YouTube. Then before I even finished waterfalls, I just wrote the best. I wrote Africa. Just writing Africa, I saw Nigeria swamp where people are sitting on top of the sewage. The sewage we saw last, that was in 2022. And the one I keep on talking about. I was like, wait. I've not even done searching for what I want about Africa, but you're already pulling me an image of whole people living in poverty. People are just living in problems. You can't try show me a better image of Africans who are living in a good condition. So it is, for them, it is very beneficial and favoring their narrative.
I think that narrative is almost going to die, because one thing, for the last 5 years, Africa has been in a serious condition of internet. Many countries are being connected to the internet. That's why we can communicate, me and you. We are in the same country, but we can communicate very well. So from this time, I think us as Africans, we should design. We should get a lot of content creators to show those people that because the content creators who are taking videos and photographs about Africa were the same Europeans who were coming like for holidays and something. So when a touring travel agency get them at the airport, they take them first to the Kibera slums so that they can take the photos of that one. But from now, me as myself, if I have a camera, I will tend to shoot quality videos and show those people that we as Africans, we are not living backwards. We are living in a very peaceful state. We don't have wild animals on our doorsteps. We don't. We have internet, which is very quality. We use we are not living in a jungle, so it's our responsibility. It's not their responsibility, because if we see videographs from maybe New York, it is them who have done those videographs, photos or videos to be seen by us. So as ourselves, we should do our own video for them to see.
I agree with you, but I've seen Africans and YouTubers. We were talking about content creation ethics on Tuesday, on Wednesday, if I'm not wrong, on Wednesday on one of our shows right here, and we were discussing of how, if you try look at way back, content how it used to be created and the impact it made on societies, and today things are quite very different. And we're giving an example with the Brian Chira situation, of how people are behaving around the grandma and everything. But that aside, I mean, I've seen YouTubers who come out like that, the way you're saying, we want to put the positive narrative of Africa or positive images of Africa outside there. Africa is blessed. Africa has this. Africa has this. But it gets to a point now, once you start getting that monetization, there's some money coming in, the attitude change. Okay, I've seen that. I've seen, you start a whole, you've been a Pan-Africanist, you're just showing us Africa. Shout out to the husband of how is she called? Miss Trudy. What is Miss Trudy's husband called? The Ghanaian guy. Wodemaya. Yeah, if you try to look at probably Wodemaya's video, the way he began, there's so much you really relate when you try to look at the continent of Africa, because he was traveling around showing different cultures, different things we have, in the city of Africa, a lot of things. But I'm certain if you try to look at majority of the things he's doing today, is being or becoming more of a bootlicker, because one, the numbers are growing, and one thing I've come to understand with YouTube and understanding YouTube itself and how we don't control information, if you try go against their narrative, because they're the same people, you're not gonna gain numbers, so you have to actually speak in codes. The same thing we were saying the other time on Monday. You have to speak on codes in a way your words won't be effective to their platform, or won't feel like you're violating them in a sort of way. So, exactly the same thing. Dr. Mombi as well. I mean, why is Dr. Mombi growing but Blackout Fire won't grow? We've always been shadow banned. Do you know how many YouTube channels we've lost? We've had thousands of subscribers. We're gonna hit even 10,000 subscribers probably in a month, even 20 probably in 3 months or even 4 months. But YouTube is always on our neck, literally checking everything we're doing, ensuring our numbers, especially in viewership, won't increase. People won't even get notification bells of our content, or when you go live, unless if you're on the WhatsApp chat, or if you know at what time the programs are aligned, then lucky you. Philip Scott as well. Yes, there's so many we can mention. Shout out to you, Jiba Jaba. There's so many. So I agree with you, Smart J. We can do that. But how many of us, and understanding the mindset of an African, especially once the money starts coming in, and if you've not, I've had this quote and I always love taking it, you complain you must have grew up broke. But you'll find most of these people, they might not complain, they stop complaining, but once they get the money changes their mindset. Like the quote they say that says money changes most people, that ain't, but again, it's a tool. You can either choose to control it or it can control you. That is what I believe. It's just a tool. You can choose to control you, or you can control it. But majority of our people lose it on their way. Go on.
But you had said a very good thing, that money is useless because it's valueless. Yeah, they are using it to take our resources. So even also our information, people like us, we have a very good vision for Africa, a good information. But if we go on that direction where we are looking money from these platforms, we will not get it. So they will not give us the money. So if you don't have a calling that you should make people to be awake, you should not be doing this. I think if you are after the money, you will not get it.
I know. If you don't have a calling, I just love the way you say it. If you don't have a calling, just stop. That is just enough. But we know. Go on.
Also, it was interesting to hear that your channel has been banned or shadow banned. I think that was the first things of the X and even Facebook and YouTube, these platforms. So if you are going for the numbers, you will not see it. But if you go on the mission, you will achieve it. Because one time people will see the value of this platform, and they will go to your independent platforms like the application and the add-on, which nobody can control it. It's yourself only. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that is the best.
Exactly. Shout out to everyone with us on YouTube. Asante, shout out to everyone who's there. You're all awake, and I hope you tap that like button. Kindly share the live video to your family and friends. And welcome to the debate of today. Shout out to Awino after Karibu Sana. Joe Mosquito says, "You guys, I saw your comments earlier. Ghost, you also had a comment earlier. I saw you say that if anyone didn't learn from the first wave, then they are a stupid wave." I know people have to be conscious because we have a new wave of the 19 in Kenya, and I know they're going to be directing people to take the VACCINE, which I saw in another platform. This already been distributed in many African countries. And do mind you that Bill Gates also did fund a lot of money to Africa, for all that mission that is about to unleash. And John Mosquito says, if 200 people watch, it will say 20 people watched. I know you'll find that we have 200 people right here, but after the live, even sometimes 0 people watched. Even sometimes you'll find that I'll find that most of these people have smashed that like button, but when I go there, YouTube shows me none, even including mine. There's a time I'd liked my own video. I'm like, YouTube is not showing me my own like out of our. I'm like, this is crazy, man. And you're saying that's YouTube for us. Exactly. It is crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. And I think you also had a comment earlier where you said, is the brother speaking? Oh, come on. You need to be better. He was explaining about fertilizer over there. His name is Smart J. And just saying that Mr. K Beast was doing it for his own selfish means, not to help Africans. I agree with you. And that is what all of them do. They come here, but Africans, we take the narrative of them being missionaries, and that is what we've ridden along with for the longest time. And it is so sad. Jibajaba says $100,000, $100,000, that's suit money for a president. It's crazy. These people have the most expensive suits. Let's even not talk about that. And I also see you saying that when I grew up, all I saw was Tarzan, bloated bellies, and the flies on the face of children. Imagine. Especially the Tarzan movie. These people made a lot of money with the Tarzan movies because we had, especially the cartoon versions. It is just super, super crazy. And I also see, we have Wodemaya, Dr. Mombi, and Phil Scott. That is the Africa Diaspora Channel. I mean, it is crazy. And that is why I'm telling Smart J, we have so many people who can do that, but at the same time, who can maintain the mission, what exactly he just said, who has the same vision from the beginning, from the start to the end, without changing their narrative or their mindset. But moving on to the next conversation is about Museveni's son. They are on again. In it, Museveni in it again. And he's my favorite puppet. I'm not going to cap. I've always said that a lot of times because he's funny. I find Museveni very funny. Very, very funny. But I do not support his moves. But they're saying Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has appointed his son remember he was a general, so I think the other time he was mentioned is going to be, because I've always called him a general for the longest time. He was I don't know if he was a general or a commander, but he was among the top of the two. But right now he's been appointed. He has appointed his son as General Muhoozi, as the country's army commander. He was a general, because remember when Museveni did sack a few ministers and a lot of people, including the general. That was, I think, last year, but 2022 or last year. The son became a general. Now he has become the army commander. And this is a move that is likely to fuel speculations that the president is grooming his eldest child to succeed him. And General Muhoozi has been serving, General Muhoozi has been serving as a senior presidential advisor in charge of special operations after his father removed him as commander of the Army's land force in 2022. That was last year, but like I said, and he was prompted to his new post. That was yesterday in the evening in a cabinet reshuffle that saw 5 ministers being sacked. And he takes over from the General Wilson Mbadi, who has now been named as the trade minister. And the 2 of the generals' closest advisors were named ministers in the new changes announced by President Museveni. Embattled Karamojo Affairs Minister Mary Garoti Kitutu who is facing corruption charges involving the theft of thousands of metal roofing sheets, was dropped from her post. And that General Samuel Okindi was named as the deputy army and all that bullshit. That is what is happening. And that they're saying that in power since 1986, Mr. Museveni has long been suspected of grooming the 49-year-old general to succeed him to entrench what critics call monarchy rule in Uganda. But Museveni has dismissed his speculations. Uganda is set to hold its election in 2026. So we have 2 years in it. This is crazy, man. 2 years still, seated on that chair and being a dictator and doing all types of nonsense and, whatever you can call. So I'm not surprised by this personally. And I know for sure that I believe people should stop being threatened, especially the Ugandans. If the son is to become a president, then for sure he's going to become, whether with Museveni's approval or without. Just like going back to what we've explained a few minutes ago with Smart J, politics and the system runs the same way worldwide. Unless we have a Mali, Burkina Faso type of country or democracy, then let us expect elections being the same way, where we turn out on the poll stations. People have already been selected knowing they are winners. They're just waiting for the announcement. And if you dare not announce them, it goes down like the 2007 way in Kenya, If you try actually hesitate in announcing it, it goes the 2007 way. So I'm here to see by 2026 how it's gonna be, and it is very exciting. Shout out to Museveni. This is just this is just crazy, and I feel and fear for the people of Uganda. That is all I'm gonna say. But as we move on to the next conversation here of Kagame, like I promised, where we can see Kagame has come out to talk about resources in Africa. And this is not the first time, like I said at the beginning of the show, that I've seen Kagame talking about resources in Africa. I've seen him do this a couple of times. He comes out in most of the interviews, talks about how the West is exploiting resources, how they're beneficiaries in the middle. But the missing part is where he doesn't mention himself being among the top beneficiaries who are funded to extract resources in places like DRC Congo. That part of his speech misses every goddamn time. Every single time. But let me see if I can find it. It was on which channel? Make Africa Great. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it.
Everyone, you're most welcome. I would like to share this.
So now I was watching this, I first got mad because African presidents are so slow. I really hate it. I hate it how they talk. It's like they are drinking some hot porridge, I really hate it. Very slow speech makers.
Most hilarious moment of President Paul Kagame and Rwanda.
This freedom, democracy, people have turned it into something, a subjective tool, just to use. If you have a voice, you have media, you have power, you have money, then you are controlling this. Everybody else is supposed to accept what you are saying there and what they are saying.
Oh, he's talking about. We know he's talking about the cats with the small hats, and he's gonna say it. He's gonna actually break it down very well. He's gonna say, and this is something I've said before, when it comes to the definement of most of the terms we use in Africa, we start even with the AU itself. The AU we're using right now is no longer our AU. That should no longer be called an African Union organization. We don't want anything to do with that fake bloc that we've seen. It's doing nothing. He's going to be talking about how we have definition terms and questions who defines these terms. I've discussed this before as a topic where we need to actually check most of the terms we use, especially in Africa. Who's defined them? And that is the democracy part. Because if you look at the way today Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger is defining democracy, and what the EU, ECOWAS, the West, and the rest of the countries that do not support what Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have done, how they define what they call democracy, is two different meanings. It's totally two different meanings. If you look at Kenya and Burkina Faso democracy, it's two different. Or Niger and Nigeria, two different democracies or sovereignty that they claim they have. And that is what Kagame is saying right here. I'm not sure how old this video is, but of course, I believe it is very, very recent, because I believe this channel does update most of the new videos. So, and there's another one I shared some time back of him talking about the same thing. When he was interviewed, I think by CNN, he was like, these people, they can't take resources, yeah. Let's continue.
Whether it is right or wrong, whether it is true or...
He's just explained we don't control the media, but in very, this is me picking up information, and this is so indirect, and Africans majority will not understand this, probably those in the continent. He's just told us we don't control the media, the money, and information, just right here. Because you see, the people who actually have given us the definition of democracy, just because they have the money, the media, control information.
Or not. This is the problem. I'm glad you actually raised this question, because it's been there for many years. It is still there as we speak. Some people, it's not all of them.
Some people, not all of them. Come on.
I think many
it is all of them, apart from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger right now.
What they say about Rwanda, I think this is the worst country you have on earth. But then sometimes, when in another circumstance, they are telling a good story about Rwanda. Say, oh, Rwanda thinks, well, is this. So how do these two contradict? In fact, the contradiction is more in that than what you stated earlier. The contradiction is, how do you...
I'm not gonna lie, I can't be in the room where this guy is making a speech, because why are you talking like that? I mean, understand the accent, but I don't think I can Rwanda me. I can't.
You see,
I can't.
This on this side, so much is wrong and bad. But on the other, there is so much that is good, that is happening. So, but these things that are good are happening by who?
By you.
It is the same people you are saying. I mean, somebody is not hungry, a family is not hungry. They are able to send children to school to study. Then they have security, nobody tampers with them. But you say, except they lack the freedom. Which freedom? Freedom. Somebody's already having freedom to live, to be there. You saw the Rwandans live now on average up to 60 something close to it. Why would the country invest in that only to deny the same person? Does it really make sense? Does it? That
is what he's doing, though. I mean, this guy is so crazy. It took me time to understand what you were saying there. A family is not hungry, can be able to take children to school, but you claim that they do not have freedom. They have freedom to be there. And then he says Rwanda has 60% of what live into their head. He didn't say what exactly it is, but it looks like something to do with the either the CPI. General Musiri is telling me to check that is the cost. That is the CPI. What was the CPI? Yeah, if I'm not wrong, but you were telling me to check yesterday. I think that is what he's talking about. But that is what that literally lives by. They don't have freedom. Yes, you might be able to eat. You're not hungry. You have the ability to take children to school. All of you have job opportunities. But freedom, can Rwandese talk? That is the question. And that is what I think he was talking about right here. That is what he was trying to say right here as he speaks about exploitation of resources.
It doesn't, for me, it doesn't add up.
You know it does, Adam.
But by the way, the same complaints that are being raised about Rwanda now were not even a fraction of it was raised against the government murdered 1 million people here. Meaning they had the freedom. They had everything, maybe, but really, the Rwanda of 30 years ago, did it have freedom? Did it have democracy? Did it? No. Sometimes I say, for lack of a better way to say it, there are two things. One I am blamed for, another I am praised for. Okay? These are two things. Surely this can't be worse than a situation that doesn't have either. You know that? You understand what I'm saying? There are people who may, as I know, in fact, there are many people who have no freedoms and the democracies we're talking about, and have nothing of that I am being praised for. So who is worse off? At least I have one. Then I can keep struggling to deal with the other one and improving on it, and fine. But at least I have secured one. But really, you have a situation where, which we know, you and me and anybody else, nothing we are talking about exists in this place. But surprisingly, because of maybe how they are used to serve certain interests of those who set the standards, they may end up actually being praised. I wouldn't name names here, but I have names in my mind.
You know you can't name names because you're gonna be found out.
I could give
Go around and you're gonna find out, Kagame.
Example, but I won't say it. I won't do it. People, even other people, look and say, "What do you think you are doing? You have so much." But in the end, it has not transformed the people either way.
He keeps on. This is the same words. I have a video and I shared. And I remember that day my internet was buffering a lot, so I couldn't share the whole video, but I explained it. But the same words. He says, "How can a country be full of resources?" Or you tell people that you're taking foreign trips to bring development, but people don't benefit from it. God damn. The same words.
Either by development or by these subjective things we're talking about. But yet, the resources are incredible.
Resources are incredible.
But those ones, nobody will talk about them. Because the same people who set these standards and define us are in between getting, helping themselves with these resources. This is how the world seems to operate, as I understand.
As he understands. You understand very well what is happening. And the rest of your friends also know. In a suit, they do know. That is how the world works. If we discover cobalt like in the 6 counties in Kenya, take us there And if you don't, we're going to call the CIA to come and check on you. You know, we're just going to ensure that your media, which is our media, and we want that information outside there. We want you telling us that you found out cobalt in how many counties, and we're coming to see you. Okay? We're coming to see you. The CIA was here. I don't know, it's because of the troops to be taken to Haiti or because of the cobalt that has been discovered in Kenya. It's crazy. It is crazy. So he knows. And all of these African leaders know the continent of Africa is blessed. We have gold, we have coffee, we have tea, we have iron, we have cobalt, we have silver, we have so many resources. We have diamonds, we are blessed. But name me one African country that has benefited from all this. None. None of them. We're all in poverty. We're all struggling. The rest of the world is full of lights. While we go literally keep on experiencing some power grid and blackouts right here, the rest of the world is shining and smiling. And guess what? Even when they come settle in Africa, they get to live in the most posh places where there's less chemicals, full of nature. And even their places are going to have lights full all the time. Because I've lived in Karen personally, and I gave an example of, we were just discussing about the Karen, and we discovered the Karen story, what it was all about, the racism behind it and why it was named Karen. And it makes a whole lot of sense because we have so many white people living there. But the issue of powers there, it was never a problem. Actually, if power could disappear, it was like 2 minutes, they are back. 2 minutes, they are back. Because I was living somewhere near that is Uhuru Kenyatta's mother-in-law. So powers could just come immediately. Like, how do you mean there's no powers in Karen? And that is the favorism most of these people get everywhere they go. But Africans. And that is what gets us to our topic of the day. Rwanda receiving dozens of refugees from Libya. I mean, if the images we're seeing right here, it's how they have been received for me. Look at that plane. Look at just look at that. You know, very pretty looking, very pretty. But we're talking about Rwanda, which has received 91 refugees and asylum seekers from Libya under a program supported by the UN Refugee Agency, Africa Union, and the European Union. All fake blogs. The arrivals include 38 Sudanese people, which I was quite surprised, 33 Eritreans, which we know majority of them are not Eritreans, true indigenous Eritreans, 11 Somalis, also underline not true original Somalis, and 7 Ethiopians, who we also know are very racist, or even don't consider themselves Africans, and 2 people from South Sudan. The refugees and asylum seekers were evacuated under the Emergency Transit Mechanism Program, which has seen 2,150 refugees sent to Rwanda from Libya since 2019. Out of these, 1,600 have gone to resettle in the US and across Europe. Rwanda remains committed to offering refugee to people in need, and the arrival of the refugees asylum seekers comes as the UK attempts to pass new legislation that would allow it to send some asylum seekers to Rwanda pending the process of their claims. The UK Supreme Court had earlier quashed the plan, terming it unlawful. And remember, they were funding some people some amount of dollars for them to go to Rwanda. Shout out to UHR, karibu sana. So it is crazy to see that we are openly, with our open arms, welcoming people who don't like us in their country. Africans are not liked in Libya, neither in Tunisia. We've seen so many racist videos of even pregnant women being beaten in Tunisia. Remember when the Tunisia president ordered all the Africans in that country to be beaten in the streets? And I shared a video brutally. Even young men could walk and they are ganged up by a group of invaders who are claiming to be Tunisians, and they were beating them up. It is the same country. We're talking about Libya, Tunisia, Italy, no, Libya, Tunisia, Mauritania, and recently Egypt, who have signed deals including millions and billions not to allow people to literally migrate through their country or even migrate to their country. And you know what people were talking about? So you want to tell me we should be the welcoming ones, but we should be the rejected ones at the same time? We should be welcoming, but we should be rejected. I mean, who wants to go where they are unaccepted? If you can't accept me in your own place, why should I accept you in my own place? Who told you that is how it works? That is just the question. It doesn't work like that. As according to me, being African and not being humane at this point, trying to be a real person, trying to look at facts here. I cannot welcome you while you can't welcome me to your own place. That is a no-go zone. And I blame all these African leaders personally for doing this. Because like I said, we're going to see these people spreading to East Africa. And maybe they already have. If only 1,600 have managed to go back to Europe and US settle there, the number we have remaining, it's the ones who are making mulattoes out here and leaving our women as single mothers. Because again, and this is crazy. This is so crazy. And then we had the same Kagame saying that, if you don't try bring these asylum seekers, I shall refund the money that you guys gave me. All bluffing talk. All bluff talk and all that. It is crazy. And that is what is happening today. And just like he was talking about freedom of his own people who they don't have, that is why they can't demonstrate about such kind of things. Because again, my Rwandese friend was telling me that demonstrations in Rwanda, they cannot be held. Like, see people, the way we operate, because for him, is giving the difference of Kenya and Rwanda. It's like Kenya, we have so much freedom. We have too much freedom. Rwanda doesn't. So make that make sense. And you'll find that most of these people, if I try to relate the situations in now both America and Africa, these people will come get, of course, good healthcare treatment. Didn't we see the Cuban doctors, how they're being treated, and how our doctors are being treated in Cuba? They get good treatment. They get the best environments. They get amazing schools, probably. And they get jobs as well. Maybe. It is crazy, and this is a revolution that is supposed to be done right here. But before we come to an end, maybe Smart J, maybe you have any remarks to make about that before we get to wind up, because I'm coming to the end of today's conversation. And I see Jiba Daba says, like how you keep the Kagame's, like how you keep Kagame on. Keep on Kagame's neck. Kagame is crazy. And I also see you saying that, Joby, not every president can talk smooth and pretty like the magical Negro Obama. I know. These people be just, they be dragging their words like, that is some Professor Lumumba bullshit. Pardon my French. That is some Professor Lumumba. Okay, go on.
I think Kagame is a smart person because he only shows things that you want to see about Rwanda, but the one that is ugly, he tried to hide them from the media or everybody. So the image that Rwanda is the best country, is the cleanest. You cannot, even if you are the best or the cleanest, but with not a good democracy, that's not a good thing to show the world. So he's becoming a bully, because I can see is that he's a bully to even the Congolese themselves, because he sends the troops to the Congo and causing havoc to our people of Africa without wanting us to question them. And if you question him, he will blacklist you from visiting Rwanda, or if you go and visit Rwanda, you will disappear. So so everybody should have his or her opinion about anything. If he thinks that the government is working very well, they should have an opportunity where Rwandese themselves should be talking. Because I myself, I have never seen a Rwandese person in even these
So,
online platforms questioning the
yeah,
government.
I mean, I've never. That is something we keep on saying every single time, especially on TikTok. And TikTok, which is a platform that has given so many people to express themselves. Like, I have never seen a Rwandese anywhere, not even them making content, nowhere. And if you see them, probably wale wako majuu, the ones in the States, probably, and maybe making content. Maybe. So,
I
yeah,
think
it is
I
crazy.
think Kenya is very ahead of these other countries in Africa because anywhere where I scroll, I see a Kenyan in Australia, US, even Nigerians. But these other
Mm-hmm.
countries like Rwanda, Burundi, they are so silent. I don't
Very.
think it's the
Malawi.
economy of the Malawi, other country like which country? Even
Well, I think,
Djibouti.
yeah, even Djibouti, Eritrea, especially for those countries, majority is
Eritrea.
I think it was Ethiopia. They had their internet cut for I think a year, or I'm not sure if it was Ethiopia or one of those countries. Ethiopia, Somali, Djibouti, Eritrea didn't have internet services because of the crisis that were going on there.
So I think those countries are very quiet because I don't think even if the economy is not doing well or it's not performing well, but I think it is their censorship to the information which is going outside because we only depend from information where we get from YouTube or this social media platform for us so that we can connect and get like-minded people, but we cannot get those people who are speaking their mind from those countries which are ruled by dictators. Because here in Kenya, here somebody can just make a video about a president, the president Ruto, and call him all sorts of names, but nothing will happen to him. But I think
True.
that one will not happen in Rwanda or these other countries. So if we don't advocate for Africans themselves to speak about their problems here, I think we are making our leaders to become more of dictators. Like
True.
Uganda,
Uh-huh.
I think the East Son is being groomed to be the next president. So I think uh, Museveni's family will rule Uganda for the next 100 years, which will will go against many wishes of
Uganda.
many
Yeah.
citizens of Uganda
Yeah.
because they want to see a different president in 5 years, 10 years, because somebody was born when Museveni was the president, and he will die when Museveni is a president.
Even others have died. What are you even talking about? Others have died when Museveni is still president. It's crazy. But I feel like that is also where Kenya is headed because you saw during the weekend we had a political rally held in Eldoret, and I can't remember the other county. And the president was being booed, and he ordered an arrest of those people who are booing him. And we saw Kidire Kindiki taking very serious action. And so far, we've had only 2 people have been arrested who are booing the president, and that actually is a spread of fear already. Like where you're telling people they cannot caution, oppose, or if you feel like
No,
we are offended by you coming to our
no,
county, we can't.
you,
You know?
you know what that I saw the same issue, but that
Yeah.
was that thing about Eldoret. Nobody can boo. Eldoret are Kalenjins, and President Ruto is coming from a Kalenjin nation. So
Yeah.
the main politics here is about succession politics. It's not about the president himself. President
Okay.
Ruto does not fear anybody who is talking bad about him. He knows how to tackle the issues. So I think these other politicians are the one who are fighting to see who will replace to be a kingpin in a Kalenjin. That's why you see those many issues, because they know that when President Ruto will retire, somebody from Kalenjin will arise.
Has to pop up,
So
yeah.
they are it's like they are wrestling among themselves to see who is stronger. And when they are wrestling, you can see those are the consequences, because everybody is trying to show the world that he has many supporters than the other one.
They're
So that
capable,
is the
yeah.
consequence. Yeah.
True. True. That I get it from that point. But anyway, family, we're wrapping it up today here. It's been 1 hour, 40 minutes of being right here, 1 hour, 45 minutes. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation. In case you're just coming in right now, but they shall be catching this show on a replay. I hope you get to enjoy. It's been an amazing discussion. We've tackled about Senegal elections, which we're waiting for them to hold the election this coming weekend, this Sunday. And we have one of the presidential candidates who is a woman. And we've just questioned, what are your thoughts regarding women or Africa having presidential candidates who are women? Should we have much more of that? And what would it be if Africa had an African woman who's a president, or maybe one of the countries having a leader who's a woman? You can answer us down below the comment section. Give us your thoughts. We've also discussed about Uganda and Museveni selecting his son as the chief commander. That is after him being a general. So he's just an apanda to chair, he's just elevating day by day. We've discussed about Rwanda, which was a major focus of the day. We've talked about Tanzania, the vice president threatening to resign because of the water shortages, a project that has taken over 20 years so far. Let us know what are your thoughts regarding that. And we've also talked about what is happening in most of the African countries. So let us know what are your thoughts regarding that for those who are in with us. And asanteni sana for those who have been here, like Jiba Jaba, Joe Mosquito. I also see Joe Mosquito is saying that, yeah, I'm free to be poor, but I choose not to be. I choose not to be government. To be government should support that idea. Okay, I get it. And you're saying Kagame has crazy eyes. Kagame is crazy. Just leave it at that. Shout out to you, Freedom Media. Kagame is just crazy. And I also see we have someone new, if I'm not wrong, hashtag 5-point star. Hashtag 5-point star. Hi, and karibu to the Black on Fire Network. Kindly subscribe. This is the first time right here. And you can join us also officially through our website, rather our app, by downloading it on your phone. If you have an Android phone, just go to the Google Play Store, search for Black Hot Fire Network, and you'll find us there. And one thing about our app that I tell you guys is amazing. You can just stream, listen to all the shows throughout the day, Monday to Saturday, where we have running shows from morning till late night. And as you use your WhatsApp, as you use your Instagram, that is the good opportunity that Black Hot Fire Network app gives you. You can use the rest of your platforms or applications on your phone as you still listen to Black Hot Fire Network. And also, in case you have an iPhone and you're wondering how to find us because we're not on the Apple Store, you can go to www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And like I said, we have amazing things on our shop page that is on the Black Hot Fire Network store and the apparel store. You can purchase some merchandise with us. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies. On the Black Hot Fire Network store, we have so many categories there. If in case you're looking for some sportswear, gift and crafts, anything that you're looking for, some luggages, affordable prices right there, order with the Black Hot Fire Network. And also we have our Cash App very active at Mr. Black Hot Fire. And of course, you can donate anything that you are comfortable with. But much love. Have an amazing rest part of your day. I see 5-point star was saying, but Libya treat black people as crap. That is true. I agree with you. And that is why I'm saying black people now, it is up to us to also question our system about them bringing people and us accepting them right here to pop in and out as if this is a toilet. Because we're not needed there when we pop in or pop out. It is a problem, especially when we're seen there. It is always a problem. So it is up to us, the majority, to actually see what is taking effect and which is actually part of neocolonialism. And I also see Jibajaba says good discussion today, Joby. Thank you so much. And I also see the brother or the says, yeah, your brother or a sister, I'm not sure, but you also say Namibia is one of the countries that is you'll barely see people post their videos. I agree with you. And I also see you saying stay well. Thank you, Jiba Jaba. My glasses, I know. I don't know. I have to get my eyes checked, literally. I've been avoiding it, but I feel like lately I've been having, my sight has been not okay. I've been seeing literally blur. Most of the times I'll see things just blur. And I think it's a high time I go get my sight checked, but I'm really scared. Once you start putting these things in your eyes, it just becomes worse. It becomes worse. And I also see you saying, yeah, the night, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. So in case you are in a capability and chance to donate, kindly do so. make Joby get some KFC kindly, just a wing is enough for me, But anyway, so until this, I shout out to Joe Mosquito who has been with us also, and to Keith who has also been with us. I'm not sure if he's up or you are asleep, because kids sometimes tend to fall asleep while his phone is just streaming. But anyway, much love. We're coming back in a few on the Rhythm Scoop Show, so kindly catch us up, me and Shumani, as you check what is happening on news, entertainment, and culture. Thank you, Smart J, for tuning in. We shall be back tonight, so you can still come in tonight for the Africa Today show, where we shall see what discussions we shall be having. Feel free to join the conversation, part of the panel as well. It's always good to have you. I enjoy conversations with you. I'm not gonna lie, you are an amazing brother, and I'm glad that you've been joining our debate. But much love, asanteni sana once again, and enjoy the rest part of your day.
All the way into Sudan, and you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to Yes, Myself, Wagwan. I'm Jerome Benson, Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent, and you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Big up, man.